What up, Fan Formula? I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I know I did because it was a Red Bull 1-2. With Seb leading the way. He's now leading constructors. Whoop whoop. Um, and as always, I'm joined by the wonderful Bez, who as Sebastian is number one weekend. This weekend he thought that he would wear the foam finger on his head as a hat, um, because he can, because Bez is cool like that. So there you go. You have Bez with a foam finger on his head. So it's not every Monday you see that, is it? Right. I guess we should get crack-a-lacking with this week's questions. Right, question one. A third and fourth for Ferrari and a 10th and a DNF for McLaren means that Ferrari have now overtaken McLaren in the WCC standings. Which out of the two teams do you think will claim the second place spot, with RBR very likely to claim the title if their recent form continues? It's hard to say with this because during the first half of the season, Ferrari were counting on Fernando Alonso to get them the points for the constructors. But in the last few races, we've seen Felipe Massa up there getting decent points for himself and the team. And now we have McLaren, who are apparently sabotaging Lewis Hamilton's car. Then yes, we may see Ferrari keep hold of second place in the constructors. But Alonso said himself yesterday that the team aren't where they thought they'd be and not where they wanted to be. So this could all be just a phase for Ferrari, and McLaren will probably overtake Ferrari in the Constructor Championship at the next race weekend in India. It would be funny if McLaren finished third in the constructors, and then next year when old Louis is at Mercedes and he gets all confused as to which pit box he should be in during the race, and he goes into McLaren accidentally and ruins a pit stop for McLaren, and Sam Michael is crying and pulling his hair out because he can't receive that wonderful pit stop award trophy from Sky. So that would just be horrible, wouldn't it, old Michael, Mr. Michaels? Anyway, moving on to question two. What is your view on the Button Kobayashi incident? Did Kobayashi deserve the penalty? Kobayashi deserved the penalty that he got. You don't just drive into people. It doesn't happen like that. That's not how Formula One works. Even though it has in the past kind of few races, but it doesn't work like that, Kobayashi. But here we go again, and I'm sure everyone is going to be commenting on this in this week's Fan Formula. Where is the consistency, FIA stewards? Come on. A drive-through penalty for crashing into someone. What the hell is that all about? We've seen grid penalties and bans this season for similar stuff happening. And it was all sorted. The penalty was dished out during the race. This season, when an incident like this has happened, we've seen it where the FIA stewards have said that they're going to investigate it after the race. Why didn't it happen this race weekend? Why did it get dealt with so quickly? Question for you to answer on a postcard, FIA, and send it back to me, because I'm sure myself and everyone else wants to know that. But personally, I think at the end of the season, Charlie and the gang and the crew seriously need to sit down and review their season of how they've handled these situations and how they've dished out penalties. And they should note down where they've gone wrong, and they should sort it out for next season, because we don't want to keep seeing this as fans keep happening next season, when one race a certain driver drives into someone and they get a 10 place grid penalty. for the next race. And then a couple races later, someone drives into someone again, and they just get, oh, we'll just give them a drive-through penalty. So it really needs to be sorted out for next season. Otherwise, I will be writing a letter of complaint to the FIA, and the gloves will be off. Don't make me take off my earrings. I'm not wearing any at the moment because that's because I'm kicking off. Right. Question 3. The Toro Rosso seem to show an improvement in pace in the Korean GP. Do you think that the drivers are finally starting to show their potential, despite the car lacking the pace and development to match fellow midfield teams throughout the season so far? I was probably more thrilled for the Toro Rosso guys finishing in the points than I was for Seb winning. Excuse me. Sorry, just burped. That's very ladylike. They both drove an absolutely fantastic race on Sunday, and I'd say they probably drove the best out of every single driver on the grid. You know, we had Jev, we had him fending off Lewis, and we had Disco Dan keeping in the points despite his problem towards the end of the race. He could have dropped way back and have been overtaken and not even finished in the points at all. So that, I thought it was fantastic drives from both. I mean, Lewis in the McLaren can overtake Jev even with the help of DRS. I mean, the straight line speed of that Toro Rosso is crazy. Where did it come from? And they've always had some kind of quite quick top lines, straight line speed, but never been able to do anything with it. So it was great that they were able to show their true potential in the race on Sunday. It would have been nice to see the team how they are now in the first half of the season, because I definitely think that they could have been up there with the middle pack and battling it out with those teams. And now that the drivers have settled into the team really well and they've got to know each other and understand driving styles and all of that, I definitely think that next season is going to look promising for them. So come on, Toro Rosso. Bonus question. We all have a good bonus. What was your favourite moment of the F1 weekend? Can be either on or off track moments. Obviously I'm just going to be kind of really boring and say what everyone else is probably going to say, but drivers doing Gangnam Style, that was probably the best thing out of the entire season, and it was a highlight for me. It made my weekend. I mean, Sebastian Vettel may be quick, but he can't dance to save his life. That was dire. His moves to Gangnam Style, that was bad. So I guess we won't be seeing him on Strictly Come Dancing anytime soon. Drats. Also, when the 3 girls came out onto the podium to hand the drivers their microphones and swap hats to get ready for the podium interviews, the girl who asked Sebastian for his hat, and then Johnny Herbert said, "Oh, I think she wanted your number." I mean, good on to her. Fair play to her. I know. I mean, who wouldn't in that situation? Who wouldn't go for it and ask Sebastian Vettel for his hat and trying to imply that, yeah, kind of give me your number? Who wouldn't do that? And if you say I wouldn't do that, you are lying. So don't lie to yourself, because it's not nice. So that's the Fan Formula ended, but we have been set a challenge, and we all have a good challenge on Fan Formulas. So the challenge this week was to somewhere get in a little cheeky cameo of Gangnam Style. So I guess it's probably time for that, to publicly embarrass ourselves on YouTube and on Fan Formula. So here we go. Right, this is just going to be awful, but Hey, if you don't do it, then you're just party poopers. So, even Bez is going to join in, and we all love that. So, okay, ready?
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.
Come on, Bez, join in.
Oppan Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style.
Oppan Gangnam Style.
Sexy lady. So, there you go. Sexy lady. That was right. Let's pause that because well, there you go. Fan formula with Gangnam Style at the end. Brill. Have a good week. Enjoy it. Only not next race weekend, but the weekend after I will be in Abu Dhabi. So I'm excited. Let's go for it and have a great week. Peace.